This is not just history, it's evidence, and it was buried on purpose. For years we were told empire meant progress, roads, railways, schools, and civilization. But no one talks about what it cost. Millions died, and the story was rewritten. If you were never taught this, it wasn't an accident. In the 1800s, European powers controlled most of the world. The British Empire, the French Empire, the Belgian Empire, and the Portuguese Empire. They said they were bringing order to uncivilized lands, but this was not about helping people, it was about land, labor, and wealth. And what happened next was erased. Let's start in Central Africa. The Congo Free State was not ruled by Belgium at first. It was owned personally by one man, King Leopold II. He controlled a territory nearly 80 times the size of Belgium, and he never even visited it. During the global rubber boom, Congolese villagers were forced to collect rubber under strict quotas. If they failed, they were punished. Homes were burned. Families were taken hostage. Men, women, even children were terrorized. Soldiers were ordered to prove bullets were not wasted, so they brought back severed hands. Historians estimate that 10 million people died under this system, from violence, starvation, and disease. Yet in Europe, Leopold was praised as a modernizer. Think about that. A country turned into a labor camp, and it was called progress. Now look at South Asia. Under British rule in British India, agriculture was reshaped to serve imperial markets. Farmers were pushed to grow cash crops for export. When drought came, there was less food available locally. During the Bengal Famine of 1943, millions starved. Food continued to leave India. Ships sailed. Markets operated. 3 million people died. This was not simply nature. Policy decisions made it worse. And yet, in many textbooks, it is barely mentioned. Is France any better? They claimed to stand for liberty and equality. But in Algeria, colonial rule meant land seizures and repression. When Algerians demanded independence, violence followed. During the Algerian War of Independence, torture, disappearances, and mass arrests were documented. For years, the full story was denied or minimized. Only decades later did official acknowledgement begin. Before the World Wars, Germany carried out brutal colonial campaigns in what is now Namibia. The Herero and Nama peoples resisted German rule. The response was devastating. Communities were driven into the desert. Water sources were blocked. Many died of thirst, starvation, and violence. Historians recognize this as one of the first genocides of the 20th century, yet it remains little known outside academic circles. Across Africa, Asia, and the Americas, the pattern repeated. Resources were extracted, labor was forced, cultures were suppressed, wealth flowed outward. Only poverty stayed behind. Railways were built, but to move goods, not to empower locals. Borders were drawn, without regard for ethnic or cultural realities. The consequences are still visible today. Economic inequality, political instability, long-term trauma. Colonialism did not just end, it reshaped the modern world. So why don't we learn this clearly? Because empires wrote the history. Explorers became heroes, expansion became adventure, violence became footnotes. But silence protects power, and forgetting protects reputation. This is not about hate. It is about truth. History is not revenge. It is memory. If we do not remember honestly, we repeat blindly. If this part of history was never taught to you, pause for a moment. Ask yourself why. And if you believe history should be told fully, share this video. Let more people see it. And in the comments, write one word: erased. Because the more people who speak, the harder it is to bury the truth again. Empires fall, but silence can last forever, unless we break it.